Hey everybody, I'm Arglefunf, and this is a video walkthrough for Marcella Moon, Killer at the Cove. It's game number 4 in the Marcella Moon series, and this series is very similar to the Nancy Drew mystery game series. Jacqueline Delmar has invited you to La Fortuna Cove to discover what happened to her father. Police have ruled his death an accident, but Jacqueline is not so sure. You jumped at the chance to sharpen your investigative skills, and so you packed your bags and headed to California. Oh, and press the spacebar to see your inventory at any moment. Good to know. So we got a free vacation to California, and look at it. It looks pretty nice. Oh, and this is Jacqueline. Hey, Jacqueline.
Marcella, thank you for coming. How was your flight?
It went smoothly. Thanks for asking.
I'm glad to hear it. I know this was last minute, but I saw your ad and I thought you'd be able to help.
I'll definitely be able to help. I'm an amazing detective.
I sure hope I can. Could you tell me more about why you called me here?
Yes, so as I mentioned on the phone, my father slipped and fell on the deck of our boat last week. Apparently he hit his head, and by the time my brother found him, it was too late.
Aw, that's tragic.
I'm very sorry to hear about your father. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know.
I appreciate the sentiment. It has been hard, that's for sure. I still can't believe it, but I called you here to help me find my father's killer.
You think he was killed? Why? Is it because you read the title of this game?
Killer? So I take it you don't believe your father's death was an accident?
I do not. The police ruled it an accident, but I'm not so convinced. You see, my dad was a very fit and active man for his age, and he knew his way around a boat. Whenever he would take us out to sea, he was always very safety conscious. He instilled that in all of us. He knew it was raining that day, and he would have been extra careful navigating the slippery boat deck. I can't imagine he would have been careless enough to lose his footing. It just doesn't make sense. I've barely gotten any sleep at all since the accident. I can't shake this feeling in the pit of my stomach that something is off. None of it seems right to me, and the fact that there are several people I can think of that stand to benefit from his death makes me feel even more paranoid.
I can see that you're hurting right now. I promise I'll do my best to understand what happened that day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I will definitely do a great job of investigating. So what did the police say?
What exactly did the police say? Did they do a thorough investigation?
Not at all. It was an open and shut case for them. They said that the boat was slippery, and he fell, and that was it. They have no reason to suspect foul play, so they didn't do much in the way of investigating.
Did you tell him about all the suspects who benefited from his death? Who are these suspects anyway?
You mentioned that there are several people that have something to gain from this. In your eyes, who is a suspect?
I hate to say it, but I don't completely trust anyone in my family. Mom and Dad have been living separate lives, and I don't know why. I guess we just pretended like there was nothing wrong, but there is. My brother, Brad, had his hands in a lot of Dad's business dealings. I wish I knew more, but you'll probably need to find out more from him or Mom. Then there's Stephanie Lou, the manager of the Four Sands. I always got a weird vibe from her. She's been very pushy lately about how the hotel should be operated. Now that Dad's gone, I imagine she'll be looking for compensation for all the work she's been putting into it. My father was a powerful man. He was a wealthy local business owner and also a member of the city council. He didn't always get along with everyone.
Alright, so where is the boat?
Where's your father's boat docked?
The boat is called the Little Lucy. It's at the marina in Slip K6.
I have no idea what that means. Slip K6. I'll try not to slip when I visit that area.
Can you remind me when your dad's accident was?
Last Thursday.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jacqueline.
You've given me some good leads. I'll follow up with the people you've mentioned and then touch base with you.
Thank you. I've arranged a room for you at the Four Sands. Our family owns the hotel, so it was no trouble at all. Just check in with Stephanie Lou at the reception.
Great. I'll talk to you soon.
I'm generally in here studying if you need to ask me anything.
Sounds good. All right, so the first part of the game is basically going everywhere and meeting all the various characters. We are going to unlock a new location over here. Let's do that now. Let's start with the Delmar house. We will unlock a new location by solving this puzzle over here on the left. So this is a colors puzzle. You want to create regions of light and dark according to the numbers on the grid. The number indicates how many squares are in that region, and same colored regions cannot touch. So for example, we have this 4 and a 2, right? If this was light, then they'd be part of the same group. We wouldn't have 4 and 2 separately. It would be 6. So no, this has to be dark. There has to be a dark in between two things of the same color. So let's see, that means there's gonna have to be a dark there, and a dark there, and then a light here to separate those two, and then a light here to separate those two. I think that's all we can get for the separation stuff. Oh, and this is an easy one. That has to be 2, right? Oh, and this one's also easy. That's also a 2. So, another trick with this puzzle is you'll notice that, we've got this area that's a 2. Everything surrounding it must be light, because otherwise it wouldn't be a 2, it'd be a 3 or a 4 or something else. So when you've got an area complete, you need to fill in all the spots around it with a different color. So that's going to apply with that 2, that's going to apply with this 2. Let's see. This 2, here's my final tip on how to solve puzzles like this. This 2, it has to go up. Like, it can't be connected to this, right? There's only one way it can go, which is up. So that means we're going to build that 2 up. And hey, we've got a 2. Let's surround it with light, because that 2 is finished. This 4 is done. This 2, it can only go left. And now we need to surround that 2 with light. Looks like this 5 is finished, so I'm surrounding that with darkness. Surrounding this 2 with light. And I imagine the 4 has to look like this. So the 4 is done, which means this is dark. Let's see. Here we've got a 4 next to a light patch. We need to separate the 2 of them. Otherwise, the 4 and 7 would be combined and be 11. This 2 is finished, so it's surrounded by light things. That 4 is done. So that means this has to be dark. Otherwise, that would be 5. And this 2 is done, so it's surrounded by light. I think this is it. Hopefully my explanation for that puzzle wasn't...
Wow, a lifetime membership. Maybe I should check this place out, see if anyone can tell me more about Jack.
Hopefully my explanation wasn't super long and confusing. That just unlocked a new area, the La Fortuna Maritime Center, I think. Yep, so it's the dive center, and we are going to have 2 suspects, one at the dive center and one at the office, that have not been mentioned so far. So those are 2 other people in addition to the 3 suspects that Jacqueline mentioned. Her brother Brad, her mother, and Stephanie, the victim's employee.
This must be Jack and Lydia.
So here's a picture of the victim with his wife. They look so happy. And then here's a thing about Jacqueline going to college. You could do it, Jacqueline. You could be a great college student. So Jacqueline is on the right-hand side of the house.
I'll follow up with you when I have something.
Okay, thanks.
On the left-hand side of the house, we have Jacqueline's mother, so let's talk to her. And she has some puzzles, like this is a puzzle I'll solve later on. This is a puzzle we'll solve later on.
I probably shouldn't mess with this unless I know what I'm doing.
Marcella refuses to even try that puzzle until later on. And we'll have a puzzle unlocking the dresser drawer. Over here on the left, we just have a note. A family trip to Yosemite. They had a 12-mile hike. On day 2, they caught a lot of fish. And everybody loved camping. But then Mom served turkey chili. And everyone was farting. And that is super gross. That's really disgusting. So, hey, Mom, can I come in?
Miss Delmar? I'm Marcella Moon. Your daughter hired me to look into your husband's death. May I come in?
Yes? Come in.
First of all, I'm very sorry to hear about your husband's passing. I want to help your family gain closure by understanding what happened that evening.
So, do you have an alibi?
Where were you when the accident happened?
I was here in my study. I'm almost always here these days.
Is there something special you're working on?
I've been trying and failing to finish my novel. Some days I think I'm just not cut out for it. I can spend hours just staring out the window with nothing coming to mind. I know there's a story in there, but when I try to bring it out, nothing.
I know firsthand how big of an effect grief can have. Not only on emotions, but also on the mind.
I don't think it's grief. It's... I don't know. A lot of things. I barely know you, and here I am rambling on about my problems.
It's no worries. I love listening to people's problems.
You're a sweet girl.
Yes, I'm a nice person, and I like solving mysteries. So what exactly happened when he died?
I'm sorry if this is a painful question, but are there any details you can tell me about what happened the day of the accident? I'm trying to piece it together.
I'm sorry to say that you're wasting your time. We already know what happened that evening. Jack slipped and fell. There's not much else to tell. The police have looked into it.
So you don't believe your daughter when she says his accident was fishy, probably murder?
Your daughter seems to think there's more to it.
I know that she's not well. None of us are. Jack was much too young to have died.
Well, I'll let you go. That's the end of the conversation with Jacqueline. So you might have noticed the conversation was briefly interrupted while I wrote down her alibi. So, yeah, we want to meet all the various characters of the game and get their alibis. I think I mentioned that earlier. So I think I'll end the video here, and in the next video, let's meet up with all the other characters in all the other various locations.